Blessings, beautiful rising, beautiful rising. Welcome to our Black August daily meditation. Glad to have you here with us today. Welcome if it happens to be your first time here. This is Tehuti Ma'at. We are a revolutionary instrument, and this is a sacred space for liberation and for the resurrection of African people. Tehuti Ma'at is a grassroots cooperative that functions to build cooperative institutions to replace the current collapsing paradigm and restore African people. So our focus is on building healing economies and so much more. But I want to welcome you if it is your first time here. Welcome back if you've been here before. Glad to have you back. Glad for your commitment. Glad for your trust, or grateful for your trust and your presence. The Black August meditation is to honor the annual commemoration of the Black Liberation Movement and Black freedom fighters. So for those of African ancestry worldwide, this is a very sacred month, not only because of the ways that we want to honor our political prisoners and all of those who have been part of our movement and getting us to the point where we're at, although we see we have, further to go. It is also sacred for people of African ancestry, because when we go back to our indigenous, natural, original wisdom and connection to nature and the cycles, there were many astronomical events and alignments that happened during this moment that are what have contributed to the very significant happenings in the Black liberation and Black revolutionary movement in the month of August in the Gregorian calendar. So some of those things that we've been mentioning and highlighting are the revolution in IT, which was the first successful revolution against the colonial forces in the colonial period, and also Nat Turner's rebellion, which happened during the enslavement, or the Ma'afa, which is a Kiswahili word that our elder, Mama Marimba Ani, encourages us to use. Instead of saying like the Black Holocaust, we would say the Ma'afa, using our own African term, which means great disaster. And Nat Turner's rebellion was a very significant rebellion of enslaved people. And we also honor and acknowledge the foundation of Black August really coming from the acknowledgement of the Jackson brothers during the 70s and the Black Power movement. So there are many things. I encourage you to watch our stream that we did on the origins of Black August with Dr. Regina Jennings if you want to learn what Black August is and get more of that context. But essentially that spirit is what has us gathered here today. So I want to thank you if you've been consistently present. I have been thankful to myself for being consistently present with our meditations, especially considering my health and losing my voice. So all of that, I feel, has been part of this collective journey in us recognizing that the fight continues, right? Because for Tehuti Ma'at, when we think about revolution, we are revolving even our idea of what revolution is, and we're anchoring it within and making sure that we recognize that as each individual person that's contributing to this revolution, that the way that we show up and the way that we care for ourselves is essential. And being able to, stay true, even if we have to retreat at times, right? There's a quote that I really love from one of my oracle decks that I've been using over the last decade, and it says, retreat is not defeat, right? And that is the spirit that I want to open our meditation in today. So I invite you wherever you are. I hope that you have whatever you need to make your space feel sacred, for you to be present and relaxed for our practice today. Hopefully you have some water or tea, whatever you need to feel hydrated and nourished during the practice today. So just coming into observing your breath and holding that seed. Retreat is not defeat. Retreat is not defeat. Retreat is not defeat. All right, family. Let's ground ourselves into our bodies in this moment, wherever you are. Wherever your body is planting into the earth, whether it's your feet or your bum, wherever you are landing, allowing the gravity to root you into the earth, melting into your mat if you're laying down with your palms facing up, if you are sitting up, stacking your jed, your spine, one vertebrae at a time, consciously bringing yourself up, all 33 vertebrae, pulling yourself up, lifting your head all the way up to the heavens, and keeping your chin slightly tucked, shoulders are relaxed. If you're laying down, I invite you to just continue to lay and just bring your consciousness to the parts of the body that you're hearing us acknowledge. If you are sitting up, I invite you to do some shoulder rolls back, because we really want to be able to land and relax into our body for our practice today. We are going to create a retreat within ourselves. So circulating your shoulders back, giving yourself a few releasing breaths here. Inhaling through the nostrils, then drop the jaw and releasing out of the mouth. Continuing those shoulder rolls back, really relaxing and letting whatever tension soften in the shoulders. Breathing in through the nostrils and exhaling, clearing out any stagnant energy. Rotating in the opposite direction now. Shoulders are coming forward, opening up the back, opening up those wings, as I like to say, in the back. Continuing that breath, inhaling in through the nostrils and exhaling out of the mouth. Just warming ourselves up, releasing any tension in the shoulders, coming into today's practice. Continuing to breathe and then slowing down, bringing the shoulders back, relaxing, keeping the heart open, the chest open, dropping the head back. I invite you to take a few heart breaths here. At your own pace, just bringing the air that you're inhaling into your heart. And exhaling, releasing out of the mouth. Yawning it out. Allowing the body to come into rest mode. Inhaling into the heart, the intention, the energy you want to call in for today's practice. Heart is open, chest is open. Remember, an open heart is a safe heart. Yawning it out. Giving yourself permission to rest. One more time, inhaling, bringing that into the open heart, your safety in your heart. And relaxing, coming back into a regular posture. Wherever you're seated, wherever your feet are landing on the ground, really firmly placing them into the ground, firmly seating yourself into the ground, maybe wobbling a little to let your roots sink into the earth. And just relaxing in here, into the body, into the intentions that we're calling in for today. And just relaxing into a natural breath. I want you to be aware of your posture, just gently, nothing strenuous. Imagine that at the very end of your spine or your jed, right at that tailbone, that you have a beautiful golden thread that's tied there, and it's just gently pulling and lifting, keeping that natural curve in your spine, pulling you up, all the way up to your crown, lifting you up to Mama Nut, to the heavens. But just keeping that chin slightly tucked so your posture is nice and erect, your shoulders are relaxed. If you are laying, just melting yourself onto the mat and just breathing in those intentions that you're calling into today's practice. Relaxing here. Remembering that everything is by invitation as we journey into the psyche, into the depths of yourself, which is all I'm guiding you into. Trusting and knowing that your open heart is radiating protection through that trust, honoring your sovereignty, honoring your body's knowing, trusting your breath to guide you, and finding safety in your breath. Coming back to where we began our Black August practice, I invite you to close your eyes or just let your lids get heavy and allow yourself to drop behind the darkness of your eyelids, bringing your gaze in between your eyebrows and the center of your forehead. And with that concentration in the prefrontal cortex, where you have no sensory neurons, you are intentionally allowing and surrendering to receive. Meditation allows us to receive. And by centering our attention here on our first eye, or third eye as many call it, we are allowing whatever senses want to surface to be felt, to come up naturally. And we're supporting our body in receiving that clarity. So just trust yourself as your mind brings up whatever thoughts, feelings, whatever energy is pulling you in different directions. This is great. This is data. Meditation doesn't have to be anything that you think it needs to be. Meditation is perfect in what it is, because it is allowing you to be present with what is under the current, or that undercurrent. You're being present with the subterranean space, the subconscious, right? The depths of the psyche are rising. It could be thoughts you haven't wanted to think about, which may be why you don't give yourself these moments of stillness. It could be sensations and thoughts that you've been thirsting to give yourself space to be with. Wherever on the spectrum you find yourself, know that you are perfect And the moment that you're in right now is perfect. And I want you to just breathe into that truth. The moment you are in right now is perfect. Observing your breath here as you're inhaling and exhaling in and out of the nostrils at your own pace. Observing and preparing to be more intentional with the breath. We're going to begin guiding the breath into more depth to give ourselves more space to dive deeper into our psyche. Bringing that breath into the belly. To support us, I invite us to bring the palms of our hands together and rub them, creating that friction and that warmth in the palms of your hands. This is the complementary energy of back and forward, of left and right, up and down, of masculine and feminine, of active and receptive. Brings us into wholeness as we create energy and power in the palms of our hands. This is creative power. So bring that intention that you've been holding and calling in with your breath. Bring it into the palms of your hands, and I invite you to put one hand over the heart and one hand right beneath your belly button, over your belly. Allow that to support you in your breath here. Again, breathing nice and deep, trying to keep the heart, the chest relaxed with no movement, and trying to bring that breath into the belly. So as you're inhaling, imagine like you're filling up a balloon. That hand that's over your belly is lifting out. As you're expanding, imagine that you're filling up that balloon with that beautiful intention, that beautiful radiant energy. And as you exhale, contracting back, like that balloon is deflating. Your belly button is contracting back towards your spine. And you're inhaling, expanding, and exhaling, contracting. Keeping to this breath at your own pace, continuing to be invited into your psyche. Let's just hold here for a few moments of stillness to allow the body and the mind to receive. Allowing and trusting your breath to guide you. And knowing that that is enough. There's no particular destination. Just allowing your breath to journey you into exploration of what is beneath the hood, what is beneath the conscious mind and the conscious thoughts. Keeping your gaze centered in your forehead, between your eyebrows, and keeping that breath intentional. Breathing deeply. Listening to the inner voice. I want you to begin intentionally breathing love to whatever space your psyche is journeying. Wherever your mind is bringing love into that space, regardless of how dense or rigid or unclear that space may be, because every part of you is worthy of love, and your breath is love. Honoring today's practice as an act of love for yourself, for us as a whole body, for our healing planet, for our expanding cosmos, and for the depths of this beautiful great mystery of darkness that holds all potential in its chaos, allowing the breath to bring order. Breathing love to the parts of your mind that need attention. If you're feeling unclear, asking your body, your mind, and your spirit as a whole force what it is that you need. And as you ask, listen, receive, because you have everything that you need inside and around you. So just receiving and continuing with presence with the breath. The breath is the medicine in this moment. It's reminding you that you have what you need, that being is enough. And filling yourself here with that truth from that still center. Deepening the love with deeper breaths into the belly space, into the womb space, into the core, into the solar plexus, into these lower energy centers that are rooting us, into your sacral, right? Breathing that energy into the ovaries, into the testicles, right? Into your genitals, breathing the energy into the body, bringing awareness through breath, bringing nourishment, filling yourself, honoring where your life force sits at the base of your body, the creative extension, your belly button that connected you to the womb, that at one point filled and nourished you with everything that you needed. You didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was continue to beat that beautiful heart. So breathing into the root, breathing into your pelvic bone, breathing into your anus, breathing into your colon, breathing into the spaces that eliminate, that release every day. Where are you in your release? Breathing into the base, into the root, into where we find stability, what anchors us into our survival, what secures us into this physical body that must purge and must release every day. So with every exhale, intentionally releasing, releasing what no longer serves you, releasing what is stagnant, what is constipated, what is still, what needs to be released so that you can circulate your energy. And with your breath, you're inhaling and you're sealing any leaks, any cracks in your energy into this space below the waist that we're bringing our attention to, our breath, these vital bodily functions, these primal components of our existence. Breathing light into this space. Are there any particular organs or cells or bones or tissues or muscles calling your energy? Trusting your breath to go where it needs to. Remember, your consciousness guides your breath. Your breath is technology. And your unconscious breathing is simply data letting you know the truth of where you are in your body. Beginning to intentionally shift the breath out of the mouth instead of the nostrils. So your exhales are going to begin to release out of the mouth. If you still feel you need some yawns here to just release any stagnant energy. Trust that release. Trust that release. With your inhales, beginning to pull your energy back into your body from wherever in your psyche you've journeyed, right? Pulling in your ba. Your ba is a part of your astral being. So as you breathe and pull yourself in from any spaces that your energy may have poured out into, any place that you feel that your energy is returning from, passing it through a beautiful filter that brings it back to you cleansed and cleaned. With every inhale, pulling yourself in from all directions, from all spaces, from all conversations. The symbol of the ba is usually the body of a bird with the head of a human. Body of a falcon sometimes. The body of a sparrow. Right? Think about the body of a bird and how a bird can fly and moves through the air. But the head of a human, it's showing us how our ancestors recognize the ability of our mind, our 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 psyche, right? Our mental faculty to be able to soar beyond the body, right? But we always protect our body, return to our body, take sovereignty and dominion of our body, take possession of our body, and anything that's not yours, that may be present, that may be occupying space in your body, releasing it with your exhale. And inhaling, bringing your spirit fully into your body, into this beautiful vessel that's carrying you every day. Beginning to bring yourself fully back into the space you're in. Maybe begin fluttering the eyes, bringing yourself back into the body with every breath. With your gaze, with your senses, looking at the space around you, taking in all these beautiful colors and senses, the smells, feeling, maybe bringing your arms and your hands to wherever on your body is calling for warmth, for touch, for comfort, feeling the body, looking at the body, holding the body. I'm inviting you to bring yourself into a nice hug, being present with gratitude and just holding yourself, holding your body. Thanking the body for being here no matter what. Valuing this beautiful body, valuing our skin, our largest organ that's constantly protecting us, sensing and feeling our environment, communicating to our nervous system, letting us know what we need in our body from the outside. Whichever way you're holding yourself, just keeping it balanced and maybe shifting and placing the opposite arm over, holding, nurturing the self, keeping a nice, curved, natural spine. And just holding yourself, maybe rocking. Continuing to be present with the breath. Just deepening that hold as you prepare to release. Feeling secure in the sovereignty you have in your body. Giving gratitude for the mind as well. Maybe holding the mind, holding the head. Right? Our mind exists beyond the physical brain. But just holding your crown, holding your head, and also giving gratitude for the mind and all of its function, affirming health, balance, regulation, ease, serenity, and tranquility as you hold your mind. Maybe holding your palm of your hand over your forehead and the other palm on the back of your head, and just gently holding here. Breathing that love here into the mind. Switching to the opposite palm. Whatever palm was at the back of the head, bringing it to the forehead, and whichever was at the forehead, bringing it to the back of your head, the back of your skull. And just relaxing your head into that hand that's in the back of your head. Breathing And when you're ready, just releasing yourself here, releasing your hands, placing them on your lap or over your knees, wherever you feel comfortable. And just breathing and being present with whatever journey that your thoughts have guided you towards, that your breath has guided you on. Coming back into the screen space and preparing to receive for one final practice. I'm inviting you wherever you are, maybe just to shift position so you feel comfortable. Maybe giving yourself a little forward fold and stretch in the body, or maybe placing your hands above your head, stretching that way, or stretching your arms, your shoulders, just a little bit of gentle movement to create a little more comfort wherever you are. I invite you to lay if that feels good for you, and just to relax yourself wherever you are. I'm going to bring us into a closing meditation around retreating and surrendering and humility, right? As we prepare, as the moon is waxing, right? As our planet is moving, as we are moving and holding stillness in that movement, right? Remembering the wisdom that's in the eye of the storm. Breathing. And sitting with this theme. The moon is waxing, meaning it is getting fuller by the moment. And by the end of this strong, right, as we approach the end of the week, we will have a full moon, lunar eclipse. Okay? So as we reach that point of synchronicity with the moon, which houses our emotions, our sensitivity, it is in the energy of Hatmi Hit, which is Pisces, symbolized by the fish. We will be submerged into our emotions, into the feminine nature, the receptive nature. And I'm inviting us to practice surrender here, to practice retreat. Sometimes we want to move forward, push forward, be active in our energy, be directive with our energy. But this energy is about surrender. It is about receptivity. It is about intuition. It is about spiritual trust. It is about openness to the vastness of creative energy, of fantasy in its healthy state. But some of the things that may rise may be excessive energy in this space. It could be addiction to substances, to food, to the phone, whatever it may be. It can be delusional energy, being immersed in fantasy and disconnected from reality. So I'm guiding us to be present with what it looks like to surrender and trust in these feminine forces so that we can learn from them and that we can actively use our masculine energy for protection so that we don't go into excessive expressions. So I welcome you to come into the breath here and ask yourself, what would be wise for you to surrender in this moment, to trust in this moment? Is it trusting to give yourself space to rest? Is it trusting to feel your feelings? Is it trusting to cry and grieve? Is it trusting to let go something that you're holding on to, you feel attached to out of fear? Instead of pushing yourself into a space that you know you'll be defeated, how can you just retreat? Retreat into what your body is calling for, yearning for, crying for, begging for, asking for. What in your life is calling your attention? And what do you need to release in order to retreat within yourself, to give yourself what you need? If it's a nap in the middle of your day, if it's a shutdown and turn off your phone, if it's an uncomfortable conversation, an expression of truth, of vulnerability, just saying what's really on your heart, whatever it is for you. Breathing into retreat. Retreat within yourself. Retreating within yourself. Your inner fortress. Trusting that what you let go of is an offering. An offering and an expression of gratitude for the seed that you sowed at the beginning of this moon cycle, for what you're expanding into, what you are becoming, honoring that we have to let go. Same way we have to exhale so that we can inhale. Release. Breathe. Breathing, relaxing, resting into the wisdom of your body. Your body knows what you need. This is not the moment to push yourself. This is the moment to surrender. Surrender to the current. Allow the process to be easy. You deserve it. If you continue to push yourself to swim upstream, to squeeze out every last drop from a dry, empty cup, straining yourself, all you're going to do is end up at the same place. So why make it hard when you can make it easy? Why make it heavy when you can let it be light? Let it be light. Let it be light. And wherever the light is shining on for you this strong, right, this week, make it a strong, not a weak. Whatever light shines in your shadows, embrace it with love, with breath, with surrender, so you can release whatever is attached to those shadows. You can let the light bring breath, bring air, bring warmth to those spaces. Cleanse those spaces. This is a reminder to trust yourself, to trust your breath in any moment to guide you where you need to go. It can just be a moment of surrender and breathing. So if you ever feel the pressure, if you ever feel overwhelmed by this tsunami, this tidal wave of water that is building up, surrender. Surrender. Let it take what it needs to wash away. Ashe. Holding that medicine, that truth, letting it land. Allowing it to land in the body so that when you need it, you can pull from it, you can remember it, you can retrieve it, it can support you. Giving thanks to the body. I'm going to invite you to come into vibration with me, with gratitude for your voice, for the power you have to vibrate in this beautiful vibrational world where every color we sense and every sound that we hear is an expression of vibration. the divinity, of frequency, of flow. So connecting with your own power within yourself to create, and coming back into the intention that you were holding from the beginning of this practice, and that you are going to reverberate throughout the day, through every act, every thought, through every conversation and every connection, that you're just going to radiate through your body, through your heart, that beautiful intention, bringing it back front and center, bringing it into your first eye, bringing it into your vision, seeing it in life, seeing it in light, seeing it express itself in your life, in your day, seeing how it impacts how you show up throughout the rest of this beautiful day, in gratitude, in presence, in trust, fully whole in your body, seeing what that looks like for you. And I want you to radiate it with a gentle hum. I'm not certain if it travels through the digital waves, because sometimes it cuts certain frequencies, but just hum. Feel that vibration in your body. Feel that intention, bringing it into the breath and exhaling it through that hum. Give yourself a few more hums, allowing that vibration to radiate and reverberate the intention through your body. And I invite you, as you continue to do that, if you feel called, I invite you to bring that hum into an ankh. We're gonna vibrate out the vibration in Medu Neter, which is divine expression, divine communication. Ankh, ankh. It's an ancient vibration of eternity, of life, right? So I invite you on your next inhale to join me, bringing that intention in and giving life to it with your again. As you bring that intention in with your nice deep breath, everything is by invitation, trusting, bringing that intention into your first eye, visioning it and giving it life. We're going to raise the frequency a little bit, inhaling the intention and the energy that you're calling in for your day, and giving it life. Again, inhaling, bringing that powerful intention, that ability to define the energy that you're creating for your day, that ability to create, to attract, bringing it into the body with that breath, holding and letting it circulate in the body, trusting you're deserving of that energy and giving it life. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, giving thanks and praises. Wah, giving thanks to all the forces, giving thanks to the great spirit, to the divine, most high creative force, mother, father, creator, creation, the source of all life, and the beautiful great mystery. We are honoring the full totality and the full spectrum of all that is, giving thanks in humility for the opportunity we have to be here in the flesh, to grow, to cultivate our spirit, to be present. We give thanks for the breath of life that connects us to all things, to all kingdoms of this earth. And we give gratitude for this beautiful day, for this opportunity to be here and to project into the world, to occupy the space and the role that we have that only we can uniquely offer. We honor that with our breath. And we honor that with our authenticity and with the truth that is in our heart. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here today. I invite you to share today's meditation. If there's anyone that you think would love to and benefit from today's practice. Again, I am Sanetem As Neferka Heteru, and I am gladly here to be your guide through today's meditation. I am the mother of Tehuti Ma'at. If you would love to learn more about Tehuti Ma'at, our beautiful revolutionary instrument, you can visit tehutima'at.org. And you can also follow us on Instagram. The links are below. If you feel that you're a spiritual warrior and you are aligned with this work, with this mission of revolution and the resurrection of the African mind, body, and soul, we invite you to be a part of Tehuti Ma'at. You can join the Tehuti Ma'at Militia. That is our membership program. If you want to support the work that we do, including our organic food for the people mission, and our work at Tehuti Ma'at Community Garden in Brooklyn, as well as our expanded garden that we have in Boston, Massachusetts. We invite you to just be a supporter. If you want to be in tune and be connected to our members' offerings, then joining and becoming a member, joining our kingdom, you'll get access to our newsletter, which is called our Moonly Report. And you will have access to our member exclusive offerings. And if you want to be deeper into the work and there's things that you want to learn and you feel that you want to connect with our archives and all of our classes and courses and the information that you can learn, you can also join at the Empire Rank, where you would be a part of Think and Tehuti Ma'at University. We are currently doing a public Think study session of Assata Shakur's autobiography. So Assata and autobiography. We are going to begin our study so you can start reading the first 3 chapters. I'm sure you could even find it on YouTube. I highly recommend that you be part of this study. You can come on and be part of our discussion with us, myself and Dr. Regina Jennings, who is guiding us. And this is for Think Assata Shakur. Think is our educational platform. It stands for Thoughts Hone New Knowledge, right? Thoughts hone new knowledge. It's think without the I. This is a way to come in and cultivate your revolutionary mind, your critical thinking, learning how to think in a holistic way, in an African centered approach, and also learning how to actually discern the information, how to thoroughly research, how to connect with your own faculties and recognize and know what is actually true, and exploring what that is, and knowing that in a grounded way, and how you connect with that in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. So this is the approach we take to our studies. So our next study session is going to be August 31st, and that's at 12 p.m. Eastern time here on our channel, which is why if you are subscribed, please hit the notification bell so that you're notified when our streams are scheduled, so that you can catch any other special streams that we're doing. And remember that our offering for Black August is donation based. So please give us a contribution if it's in your heart and you're able. We are open and ready to receive and reflect that abundance onto you. So whatever you offer comes back to you. And you can make your contribution via Cash App. The Cash App is in the description. PayPal link is in the description, so even if you don't have PayPal or Cash App, you can still make a contribution using PayPal with a debit or credit card. And we thank you for your contributions, and shout out to everybody who has already contributed. You know that we are sending and affirming that that money comes back to you 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, a millionfold, because there's so much prosperity and abundance that's coming through this new economy. And everything that we invest our energy into, and money is a reflection of our energy. If we want to heal the economy, if we want to heal this money paradigm, we're already participating in it anyway. Instead of feeding things that are part of the old, dying, collapsing paradigm that is destructive and parasitic, we can feed and fuel the systems, the initiatives, the ventures, and the things that are part of that restoration and that healing process on the planet. It's very important that we begin to do that, and that we see that that is already what's happening, right? So the more energy that we invest into what we're moving towards and less on what is destroying, the further away we are from ground zero, right? You don't want to be in ground zero when the towers fall, if you will, if you picking up what I'm putting down. So that being said, thank you again. And if you want more information, as I said, you can visit tehutima'at.org. It has been a pleasure to be here with you. We will be here again tomorrow at 7 a.m. for the rest of Black August. Please come true. Our intention is to sit in meditation and honor that revolution begins in you. And revolution, in our revolutionary ideology for Tehuti Ma'at, begins with healing. Revolution is healing, liberation, restoration, elevation, expansion, unity, strength, courage, prosperity, and joy. But first and foremost, we know that we have to heal ourselves. We have to recognize that in the current battlefield and with everything that is going on in the world, the most strategic thing that we can do is to pour into ourselves and heal, so that when the moment and the circumstances around us arrive for us to show up in more presence, we show up whole and we are ready and we know what to do. Okay? So thank you again for being here with us. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you again. Power.